Are LEGO art kits worth it? This is a question I've wondered for a while now, and it all started because I wanted to recreate the Your Name album cover using the LEGO art system. To do so, I would need 48 times 48, carry the 1, 2,304 1x1s. But the only problem is, buying that many studs would cost me around 5,700 pesos, with each individual stud costing 2.5 pesos. That is insane. Do you know how many Uniqlo shirts I can buy with that money? For reference, this is what 2.5 pesos looks like. And this is a 1x1 stud. Who does LEGO think I am, Mr. Beast? With that option ruled out in its entirety, I decided that the better option was to buy a LEGO art kit. But that's when I ran into another problem. Each art kit costs 120 US, and all you get are large 16x16 plates and around 3,000 or so 1x1s. While it is a better deal compared to just buying 2,000 or so 1x1s, I need to experience a LEGO art kit in person to actually determine whether or not it's worth the price. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I ended up buying a LEGO Arts, Yeah, do you know how many more Uniqlo shirts I can buy with that money? Psych, instead I found this not LEGO art kit for only 2,500 pesos, and now let's get to building it. Building the set was actually quite calming, and I thoroughly enjoyed every step of the way. I was planning on building this live on TikTok, but I'm actually glad Filipino internet speeds prevented this, as being live is tiring and might have changed the experience. To me, it's just amazing to have some alone time and see the pictures slowly come into fruition as you add more and more 1x1s to the canvas plates. And the whole process reminded me of those adult coloring books that honestly lead to some incredible outcomes. However, if this was actual LEGO, this would be worth 6,000 pesos in store and even more in the Philippines, so is that worth it? Factoring in the building experience, the pieces used, the finished product, and all the design work that went into it, I'll still honestly have to say no. To start, out of the 3,406 pieces that come in the set, over 3,200 are just 1x1s. That means only around 6% of the pieces aren't 1x1s. And even though the set does come with 9 16x16 canvas plates, those are almost definitely the only pieces that cost LEGO more than a couple pennies to make. Other than those 9 canvas plates, the other pieces included are relatively common, and honestly should not cost LEGO that much to make because so many of these pieces are made for so many other sets. The other part that bothers me with art kits is a little more speculative, so take this with a grain of salt. But there's just no way that these art kits take as much design work as an ordinary LEGO set. Ordinary LEGO sets require some draft sketches first, then next they're built using online rendering, then next they're built physically before being play tested, and then redesigned if any stability issues are found, and I'm sure there's an even longer process ahead before a set makes its way into your LEGO store. On the other hand, LEGO art kits are just pixel art with an extra dimension to them. LEGO Art Remix is a program that lets you turn any image you want into a mosaic, and if software like this exists, LEGO most likely has something similar. The black frame is also reused in every standard art kit, so given that LEGO is a smart company, they most likely just copy-paste that instruction wherever they need to. I'm not trying to discredit LEGO designers here, and from what I've seen, LEGO designers are incredibly respectable individuals. But personally, I just don't think that this set took the exact same amount of design work as the UCS 8080. The UCS 8080 is an engineering marvel, and it's a set I want, and all you have to do to help me get it is to like the video and subscribe. Moving on, the next reason relates to these lots of dots packs. What LEGO did here was sell a variety of 1x1s for a low price. In the case of this set, they were selling around 1,000 1x1s of varying shape for only 20 USD. The problem that this set presents is honesty. LEGO is just outright telling you how much they'd sell 1,000 1x1s for. And keep note, the ones included in the set are actually of varying shape, which is a little more expensive to produce because LEGO has to produce more specific 1x1s as compared to producing more common circular 1x1s. In total, this lots of dots set lets everyone know that the selling price of 3,000 1x1s is only around 60 USD. and yet they're expecting you to pay 120 USD for that exact amount plus around 200 other pieces, with the only mildly expensive ones being the canvas plates. And the final reason why I don't think art kits are worth it has to do with the newly revealed Floral art kit. This art kit is unlicensed, and it comes with 2/3 the contents of a large art kit for 2/3 the price. The problem that this presents is that it helps me quantify the price. It's kinda hard to determine whether or not the full 50 by 50 mosaic is worth 120 USD because it's so big lengthwise. But when you scale it down and tell me that a 34 by 50 mosaic is worth 80 USD, that's when I can start to put things into perspective. Having this information lets me know that the ratio is truly 13 USD to one 16 by 16 canvas plate. And while that looks fine up front, canvas plates are quite hollow, and placing them together doesn't change that. Now, I know that some 9-year-old kid with access to their parents' credit card information is somehow going to find this video, even though my target demographic is anyone with half a developed brain or more, but because they're going to find their way here anyway and comment licensing, I might as well shut down their argument before they even say it. Every single one of these basic art kits are all priced the same, regardless of whether or not they're a Disney-owned IP. It doesn't matter if the art kits are based on Marvel, Star Wars, DC, or Andy Warhol. They all cost 120 USD, even though some art kits like the Star Wars one has more pieces compared to the Beatles one. The real reason behind the pricing of the LEGO art line is demand and demographic. Adults love buying paintings and putting them up in their house, and any Filipino with rich titos and titas can attest for this. This LEGO theme was made for that specific demographic, and since that demographic has money to spend, LEGO has the freedom to price this product much higher than what's otherwise expected. The LEGO art line being for adults also explains why they can safely do art kits based on old music icons like Elvis and the Beatles. I'm sure that LEGO has an entire research team analyzing the market, and they settled on the 120 USD price point because it was high enough to make them a profit, but low enough to not scare away any potential consumers. Personally, I think that this price is still too much for what you're getting, so while I understand the pricing scheme, it's not something I agree with. In the end though, I will say that I actually have a very positive opinion on LEGO art kits. The building experience is extremely relaxing and surprisingly not very repetitive. You can throw on whatever you want on the background while building. For example, I was listening to the new Post Malone album during that time, and the finished product is quite impressive in person. I could care less about the included audio track, and I'm sure cutting it out of the picture would save LEGO money, but that's the only non-monetary gripe I have. This is honestly a very well conceptualized idea, and I have to commend LEGO for executing it so well. It's definitely not the most worth it LEGO product out there, but older fans with more money to spend should enjoy this, and since that's the case, LEGO definitely accomplished what they set out to do.